So now we will talk about how to create reports using the model. So the last few videos we talked about Cognos overview, we talked about how to create a model using the framework manager, and now we are going to talk about how to create reports through the tools provided by Cognos. So as you see here, we have lots of links here. This called create professional reports is the tool for create called Report Studio, which is the main tool for creating reports. Analyze My Business is Analysis Studio, and Query My Data is again a Query Studio, which also helps you to create reports. So let's click on the Query Studio, which is this one. So once you click here, the next thing is you have to choose a package. Now if you remember, in the last video we published a package and which to make our data model accessible to the reporting tools. So once it's loading all the packages, it's taking a little bit of time, but hopefully it'll come soon. Okay, so what we did was when the list of packages came, we used the search feature, which is in the top right, to search for our package test1 and then select it from that. So let's select our package. So typically if you have more than one package in your Cognos environment, then it will show all the list of packages and you have to select from there. Now if you want to navigate, you can use the search feature, which we used this time. So it's coming up, it's taking a little bit of time. So once the package loads, you would see a dialog box like this, which pretty much says create a new report from template or open an existing report. Since we are starting fresh, we don't have any reports, so we select create a new report. So once you do that, then you will be presented with a set of different report formats. So to get started, let's select the list format, which is pretty the simplest and the straightforward. So we select the list format. Now here, this is a pretty standard report tool. What that means is that it will give you on the right side is some sort of a panel where your report would be created, and on the left side you'll have your objects, which is coming from your model which you created. And remember, this model was accessible to this tool because you published the package. So now if you go back to the model and change something to make it available to the tool, you have to republish the package. Now one thing I have seen in Cognos, when you republish, you are better off closing the Report Studio and reloading it to get the latest changes of the package. Again, it's taking time to load. Okay, so it has loaded our package. As you see, here is our different query subjects. So let's create our first report. So you want to create a simple report with sales volume and agents. So let's drag maybe the first column, let's say a sales agent's name. So let's put the name. So drag it here. So this becomes our first column. And then maybe it's region. So let's put this one here. Now sometimes you'll see this message. What that means is that this instead of putting the name here on next to quarter name next to this, it by mistake it tried to place underneath. So in that particular case, just do OK and then undo your action by clicking here. And now what you can do is that you can just double click. So if you double click, it just comes here. Now one thing I would like to point out is, as you see here, name and name one. So I think this is sort of a mistake on our part. We should have renamed our column name to the region name instead of name. Now remember, this is we have this sort of column names because we inherited from the database directly and we didn't bother to change it. So you may want to change it here. Now you can change the labels here. So here you say this is name 1. Instead of name 1, you can write a region name. So this is a label, and here you can put region name. So here we have region name, and then this you can change as agent name, or you can just say agent. Okay. Now if you want to test with these also, you can test, but let's put the sell date and sell amount. So I think we have to reorder the columns a little bit. So let's get rid of one sell date. I think we have multiple columns, so I'm getting rid of one of them. Okay, and then let's put sell date here. Okay, so again we have the same error. So when you are dragging, if you see this line appear, that means the vertical line appears, that means it's the right way to place it. So now if you see sell date, let's do the same thing with the sell amount. Okay, so now we have sell date and sell amount. Again, I'm not going into the details of changing each and every column name, but I think you can get the idea. Now you can test your reports quickly by running a report here. So it's taking some time. So that when you click on a report, opens in a new browser window. So as you see, this is a Cognos default color combination. So here we have our region name, we have our sell date and a sell amount. So here we have listed all the each and every sales transaction. Now for example, now if you put so let's play with that a little bit more. So let's go back here. Now if we remove the sell date, so let's remove sell date and let's see what happens. So now what will happen, Cognos by default would try to add the sales data per agent. See, this line represents an agent's name, a region's name, and a sell amount. So what it will do is that Cognos will retrieve all the values and then it will group by the agent and will add all the sales amount by the agent. So that Cognos does internally. So the fact that you don't have the sales date here, that means Cognos internally would realize that it would need to group it by agent, and the way to do group while grouping, the function it would add, if you remember, while defining the model, we had this aggregate and semi-aggregate, so it will apply those. So for sale amount, we have defined aggregate is sum, so it will do sum for the agent. So let's run the report again. So as you see, it had grouped the agent's name and added it, and then it has added the sale amount. Now one thing probably is the problematic is that we see blanks here. Now this could be due to we have to investigate, maybe some of the data doesn't exist. Typically we want to see some sales agent which has no sales amount. Okay, so let's add some more spices here. So we have a simple report showing the agent name and report. Now in the next video we'll discuss some more features which you can add to the report.